Let's get right into it. Number 1, you're basically a walking virus. Picture this, you're strutting around thinking you're a fully original 100% you masterpiece. Cute. Reality check. 8% of your DNA is literally leftover viral code. Yeah, the same way your phone has those creepy pre-installed apps you can't delete, your body is carrying ancient viruses like souvenirs from history's worst infection parties. These little genetic hitchhikers are called endogenous retroviruses, and they've been chilling in your DNA for millions of years. How did they get there? By doing what viruses do best, hijacking your ancestor cells, worming into their genome, and then tagging along for the ride through evolution like the clingiest ex ever. And now, congratulations, they're part of your family tree. Some of these viral genes even got promoted to important jobs. Like, the reason human pregnancy works? Thank a viral gene for helping your placenta fuse to your uterus. Romantic, right? Baby powered by ancient pandemic sounds like the slogan for a very niche baby product. But here's the creepy part. Most of these genes are basically fossils, silent and broken. Most. Some? Still active. Still doing things. Scientists occasionally catch them turning on in weird places like certain cancers. So yeah, inside you right now are ancient viruses that sometimes wake up like, "What's up, guys? Long time no see." Basically, your DNA isn't a pristine blueprint. It's a messy group chat full of ghosts who refuse to leave. Number 2. Your DNA is actively mutating. Right now, ***. You like stability, right? You want to believe your DNA is this perfect, locked-in identity code. Sorry to ruin your fantasy, but your genome is more like a chaotic Google Doc that everyone keeps editing without permission. Every time your cells divide, and they do this constantly, tiny typos sneak in. Most of those errors? Totally harmless. Some even fix themselves. Others, not so much. There's an entire army of enzymes proofreading your DNA like exhausted editors on a Monday morning. But they're not perfect. So yeah, your DNA is glitching all the time, and usually it's fine. Usually. The average person racks up something like 100 new mutations every single time they pass their genes to a kid. That means if you have children, you are literally handing them a slightly broken version of you. Generational software updates, but with bugs included. And then there's radiation. Not just X-rays, cosmic rays from space. Right now, invisible particles are occasionally zipping through your body and flipping bits of your code like a toddler with a keyboard. It's rare, but it happens. Which means some random star exploding millions of years ago could, in theory, help give someone cancer today. Space is the worst roommate. So yeah, your DNA is not a fixed identity. It's a living, mutating, occasionally malfunctioning system, and the fact that you haven't spontaneously grown a tail yet is honestly impressive. Number 3, you're full of self-destruct codes. Deep inside your DNA lurks a terrifying truth. You are carrying instructions for your own destruction, built in, on purpose. It's called apoptosis or programmed cell death. That's right, your cells are preloaded with a kill switch, and when they hit the wrong button, game over for that cell. Normally, this is a good thing. Apoptosis is why you didn't grow up with webbed fingers like a baby frog. Those cells died off when you were in the womb. It's how your body cleans up damaged or infected cells before they turn rogue. In short, cell death is life-saving. Until it's not. Sometimes, those self-destruct codes misfire. They don't activate when they should. Hello, cancer, or they go full drama queen and start killing healthy cells. That's basically what happens in diseases like Alzheimer's. Your own DNA sending out a delete yourself memo to brain cells. Fun. So yes, hiding in your genetic code are instructions to keep you alive. By killing you on a microscopic scale. Your body is basically running a silent Hunger Games at all times, and so far, you're winning. For now. Number 4, you're carrying deadly genetic landmines. Ever wonder why some people can eat a peanut butter sandwich like it's nothing, while others go into full survival mode from a single whiff? It's not random. It's hidden in your DNA like an evil Easter egg hunt. Your genome contains thousands of variants that can quietly sit there for years doing absolutely nothing. Until they don't. These are called deleterious alleles, and they're basically sleeping grenades waiting for the right pull of the pin. Many stay harmless because your other genes cover for them like a buddy system in your body. But combine the wrong set of parents? Boom. Welcome to the world of inherited disorders. What makes this extra dark is that your DNA isn't just hiding potential allergies. We're talking about full-blown catastrophic illnesses. Cystic fibrosis, Huntington's, Tay-Sachs, all lurking in the gene pool. You might be carrying one or two right now and never know, because they need a partner in crime to activate. And the kicker? Evolution doesn't care. If a deadly gene doesn't kill you before you reproduce, it gets to keep hanging out in the population like that one guy who always crashes the party. So yeah, humanity is basically playing a genetic version of Russian roulette, and we've been spinning the barrel for millions of years. Sleep tight. Number 5. You have a kill switch for reproduction. This one's wild. Your DNA has a built-in timer that decides when your fertility shuts down. It's called replicative senescence, and it basically says, "Congrats, you've been reproducing long enough, now stop." The reason? Every time your cells divide, the ends of your chromosomes, called telomeres, get shorter, like a candle burning down. Telomeres are the little plastic tips on your shoelaces that keep things tidy. Except when they wear out, your cells freak out and either stop dividing or self-destruct. Why would evolution design you like this? Because keeping your cells immortal would be great. If cancer didn't exist, unlimited cell division equals tumors everywhere. So nature said, fine, you can live a decent run, but no cheating death by growing forever. It's like your body trades immortality for not dying at 30 from a tumor. This is why aging is unavoidable. Your DNA literally codes for your expiration date. You're basically a yogurt cup with legs, and your best before date is written in your chromosomes. Sweet dreams. Number 6. Your genes can betray you under stress. You think you're in control of your personality? Your resilience? Cute. Turns out, your DNA has this little trick called epigenetic expression, which means your genes aren't just on or off. They can be dimmed like a light switch depending on what life throws at you. Severe stress, trauma, famine, even too many energy drinks. These things can flip epigenetic switches that change how your DNA behaves without changing the actual code. It's like your body goes, "Oh, life sucks now? Let's activate the survival mode package." Sometimes this helps. Other times, it rewires your brain chemistry in ways that lead to anxiety, depression, or even pass those changes on to your kids. Yep, thanks to epigenetics, your terrible week could echo in your family tree for generations. Imagine telling your great-grandkids, "Sorry you're anxious. Grandpa had finals in 2025. Your DNA isn't just a static instruction manual. It's a drama queen that reacts to its environment and holds grudges across time. Which means the phrase, "it runs in the family," might actually translate to "life was awful for your ancestors, and now you get the sequel." Number 7. You have genetic parasites crawling inside you. Inside your DNA right now are things that act like parasites, except they're part of you. They're called transposons or jumping genes, and they do exactly what the name suggests. They hop around your genome like drunk grasshoppers. Most of them are quiet now, like retired criminals, but back in the day, they were absolute chaos agents. They would copy and paste themselves all over your DNA, breaking things, turning genes on or off, and sometimes straight up causing disease. About 45% of your genome is made of these freeloaders. Yeah, almost half of you is a genetic squatter's camp. Why do they exist? Because DNA isn't some perfectly engineered code. It's more like a wild jungle where random stuff grows if it can survive. These jumping genes got really good at surviving, so now they're everywhere. Scientists think they might have even helped evolution by stirring the pot, creating genetic variety. So, the reason you're human and not some boring blob might be because of these little anarchists. But here's the fun part. Some transposons can still move. Rarely, one will wake up and jump to a new spot which can cause a mutation. Usually harmless, sometimes catastrophic. So if you ever feel different, just blame a rogue piece of DNA deciding to redecorate your genome without asking. Number 8. Your DNA has murder mystery files. Your genetic code isn't just a manual for building you. It's also a crime scene record of every evolutionary plot twist your ancestors went through. Scientists can look at your DNA and see old wars between genes and diseases, like scars from battles long over. For example, your immune system genes are basically a scrapbook of plagues. Certain sequences show that your ancestors survived smallpox, bubonic plague, and who knows what else. Which sounds badass until you realize some of those old adaptations now cause autoimmune diseases. Your body's like, we beat the Black Death, and then turns around and starts attacking your own joints for no reason. Even creepier, you can find traces of extinct human species in your DNA. If you're not 100% African in ancestry, there's a good chance you've got some Neanderthal code chilling in your genome right now. So, congratulations, you're technically a remix of multiple species. Evolution is messy like that. Your DNA is basically an ancient hard drive that's been overwritten a million times, and half the files are corrupted. And yet here you are, scrolling on your phone instead of hunting mammoths. Progress. Number 9. Your DNA is leaking into the world. You might think your DNA is safely locked inside your body. Wrong. You're shedding it constantly. Skin cells, hair, saliva, microscopic bits of you are everywhere. Scientists call this environmental DNA, and they can literally track where you've been from tiny fragments you leave behind. Sounds like sci-fi? Nope. Researchers have collected DNA from air samples in a zoo and identified every single animal just from what floated around. Which means, theoretically, someone could vacuum your DNA out of the air in your room right now. Sleep well. And here's where it gets really creepy. Your DNA isn't just traceable. It's readable. With the right tech, those fragments can reveal your identity, health risks, even your family tree. So yeah, your genetic privacy is basically a joke. You're sprinkling personal data like a busted salt shaker everywhere you go. The future? A world where detectives solve crimes with dust bunnies. Or worse, a world where advertisers know your genome and start selling you anti-aging gene boosters based on the hair you left in an Uber. Dystopian? Absolutely. I'd patent DNA vacuum cleaners if I were you. Number 10. You are a genetic time bomb. Here's a fun little bedtime story. Your DNA is slowly accumulating damage that will eventually kill you. Yeah, no sugarcoating that one. Over your lifetime, every single cell in your body takes hits. Radiation, free radicals, random chemical reactions, and your DNA gets nicked, broken, or scrambled. Your body has repair crews, sure. Enzymes run around fixing breaks like overworked construction workers. But the system isn't perfect. Eventually, those little errors pile up. This is one of the core reasons you age. Not because you get old like a piece of fruit, because your genetic code becomes Swiss cheese over time. And sometimes the damage hits in just the wrong place and flips a normal cell into a psychopath. That's cancer in a nutshell. A cell that ignores all the rules because its DNA is busted beyond reason. Think of it like a traffic light glitching, and suddenly cars just go full Mad Max in your body. Here's the kicker. The clock starts ticking from the moment you're born. Every year, your mutation load climbs higher, and eventually something snaps. So yeah, your DNA is like a high-tech machine that came with an expiration date hidden in the fine print. It's amazing you last as long as you do. Number 11. You're not as human as you think. You probably think of yourself as a single species. Wrong. You're more like a genetic smoothie. Remember those Neanderthal genes we talked about? Well, you've also got bits from Denisovans, maybe even other unknown ancient humans that didn't make it into the history books. Your DNA is a mutt's dream come true. But it doesn't stop there. You also carry non-human DNA in the form of mitochondria, little energy factories in your cells that used to be free-living bacteria. Millions of years ago, your ancestors basically kidnapped these microbes and turned them into permanent roommates. And now they power your life. Stockholm Syndrome, but make it biological. And let's not forget your microbiome, the trillions of microbes living in and on you. They're not technically part of your DNA, but their genes outnumber yours by a mile, and they control everything from digestion to mood. So the idea of you being an independent organism? Cute. In reality, you're a walking ecosystem that smells nice enough to get invited to parties. Bottom line, you're not one species. You're a mashup, a remix, a genetic group project where half the contributors didn't even show up. And somehow it works most days. Number 12. Your DNA will outlive you and maybe doom you. You die, your DNA doesn't. Not right away. It hangs around for weeks, sometimes months, like a creepy house guest. In the right conditions, cold, dry, dark, it can last thousands of years. That's why we can read the genomes of mammoths and Neanderthals, which is amazing, until you realize this means your genetic data could survive long after you're gone. Imagine future scientists, or worse, future corporations, digging up your code and cloning you, or selling your genetic blueprint like a subscription service. Sound far-fetched? CRISPR and synthetic biology are already making that a real possibility. Your great-great-grandkid could be buying vintage you on eBay in the year 2300. But here's the twist. DNA is both eternal and fragile. It holds the blueprint of life but also carries the seeds of its own destruction. Mutations, errors, decay. Which means the thing that makes you you is both the most durable and the most breakable thing about you. Kind of poetic if you ignore how terrifying it is. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.